Hillary Clinton was
Oh,
incorporated.
yes. How did I forget? You know what? And I was so enjoying the night up to this point, and I actually forgot about that. And I knew something. I knew that we can't just let me be.
Well,
Go
this
ahead.
is a good way to finish it, so that way you don't have to be miserable for the rest of the evening, but this is definitely important.
Introducing.
Here is my opening statement to the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee today.
Okay, so let me give a little background because we don't always do that. And I think people, especially people who are listening. So if people don't know, Hillary Clinton today testified before Congress regarding the Epstein files. And I'm personally just shocked that she was less than truthful. I always held Hillary up to be like a beacon of truth telling and sincerity. So I know I'm very taken aback that she was less than honest, but go ahead.
For sure. Colin, pull up the transcript, please. Secretary Clinton's opening statement. Mr. Chairman, ranking member, members of the committee. As a former senator, I have respect for legislative oversight, and I expect its exercise, as do the American people, to be principled and fearless in pursuit of truth and accountability. As we all know, however, too often congressional investigations are partisan political theater, which is an abdication of duty and an insult to the American people.
Wait. I'm sorry. Did Hillary Clinton just intimate
of the Clinton Foundation
that congressional investigations are partisan political theater? Okay, noted. All right, because that's very rich coming from her. Okay.
The committee justified its subpoena to me based on its assumption that I have information regarding the investigations into the criminal activities of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. No, they were just at your daughter's wedding, but what the hell would you know about them? Am I right? Yeah, because
it isn't just that. Continue, because I have a lot of thoughts about Hillary that I feel like
let me be as clear as I can. I do not. As I stated in my sworn declaration on January 13th, since when would signing anything with any type of, there would be no adjudication on her behalf ever, and I mean ever. I had no idea about their criminal activities. Zero. I'm a babe in the woods. I don't know shit. I do not recall ever encountering Mr. Epstein. Again, there's the lawyer speak. I don't recall. I never flew on his plane or visited his island. Remember the language here. Very clear. I do not recall ever encountering Mr. Epstein, which means she's lying. I never flew on his plane or visited his island. There she's telling the truth. Homes or offices. I have nothing to add to that. Like every decent person, I have been horrified. But what we have learned about their crimes, it's unfathomable that Mr. Epstein initially got a slap on the wrist in 2008, which allowed him to continue his predatory practices for another decade. Mr. Chairman, your investigation is supposed to be assessing the federal government's handling of investigations and prosecutions of Epstein and his crimes. You subpoenaed 8 law enforcement officials, all of whom ran the Department of Justice or directed the FBI. When Epstein's crimes were investigated and prosecuted, of those 8, only 1 appeared before the committee. 5 of the 6 former attorney generals were allowed to submit brief statements stating they had no info to provide. You have held 0 public hearings, refused to allow the media to attend them, including today, despite espousing the need for transparency on dozens of occasions. You have made little effort to call the people who show up most prominently in the Epstein files. And when you did, not a single Republican member showed up for Les Wexner's deposition. Well, that may be true. Do you want to jump in?
You want me to be this bitch? The Institute. I mean, I just feel like I don't even know why we want to read this nonsense, because I don't believe anything that comes out of her lying mouth. She's a snake. Now, she can sit there and we could talk like, to me, and this, I really am speaking to anybody who ever supported Hillary Clinton in 2016, like as a candidate, like if you ever supported Hillary Clinton. If you believe, you have to believe one of 2 things. Like there's only 2 options here, right? Either she's lying about what she knew, or she's a moron. So for all you people that think she's so smart and you voted for her, like, I don't understand. Is she a liar or is she a moron? She's one or the other.
The initial failure is designed to protect one political party and one public official. Is that so? Okay, because this is now a Democrat-Republican thing, apparently. And I am furious. My heart breaks for the survivors, and I am furious on their behalf. I have spent my life advocating for women and girls. Yeah, you sure have. I have worked hard to stop the terrible abuses so many women and girls face here and around the world, including human trafficking, forced labor, and sexual slavery. Except in Haiti, of course. For too long, these have been largely invisible crimes or not treated as crimes at all, but the survivors are real and they are entitled to better. In Southeast Asia, I met girls as young as 12 who were forced into prostitution and raped repeatedly. Some were dying of AIDS in Eastern Europe. Again, what is this? A resume?
It's what I can tell you what it is. It's she's what you would call it. She's redirecting. She's redirecting and distracting, and she's the one turning it into a partisan circus. She's making this be about her integrity, like when she was in office, like this has anything to do with anything. No, it's your husband was a willing participant in a sex trafficking ring and you knew about it. Oh, yes. And then you invited the sex trafficker to your daughter's wedding. And now you're pretending that you didn't know anything. And I don't believe you. And for the people that think Hillary could be both a moron and a liar, she could be. There are a lot of people that are both. She's not a moron.
She's a psychopath.
She's not a moron. So I assure you, she's a psychopath and liar.
Yeah. And the reason she's a psychopath is because she is very smart. Like, she's a smart.
That's what I mean. No, she is not. My point is, she's not a moron. So for people who wanted to ever think she was all that, so now you have to accept she's lying. Because she's saying she had no idea. Your husband was on that plane 26 times and this woman was invited to your daughter's wedding and all of this stuff was going on and you had no idea? I don't believe so. I don't believe that for a second.
I don't believe it either. If you are new to this issue, let me tell you, Jeffrey Epstein was a heinous individual, but he's far from alone. This is not a one-off tabloid sensation or a political scandal. It's a global scourge. How do you say that word?
Scourge.
Scourge with an unimaginable human toll.
She got that from Bush. She got that from Bush. That was his word from Senior. It was a scourge.
Scourge. As secretary, yeah. Listen, you want to talk about a small club and you're not invited? The Clintons and the Bushes love each other. As Secretary of State, I appointed my work combating sex trafficking goes back to my days as First Lady, because again, she can't brag about herself enough. I worked past the first federal legislation against trafficking and was proud that my husband signed I was also proud of him sexually assaulting young girls, but in this case, he made up for it, signing the Trafficking Victims Protection Act, which increased support for survivors and gave prosecutors better tools for going after trafficking.
Yes, but not the ones that you were inviting to Chelsea's wedding. See, that's the problem. You were okay with them going after some sex traffickers? Sure, maybe.
Jen, she has more bragging to do. As Secretary of State, when I decided to start 5 different wars, and she's the one responsible, not Obama, I appointed a former federal prosecutor, Lou Sabaka, to ramp up our global anti-trafficking efforts by invading 5 countries. I oversaw nearly 170 anti-traffic let me tell you something. This is a woman who wakes up in a cold sweat at least once a week, thinking that she became president and then realized she didn't.
I don't want to read. I don't want to hear this whole thing. I really don't. She's just sitting here boasting on herself. It's absurd. And she may or may not have done any of those things. I don't know. And I don't care. None of this, again, this is sort of like Pam Bondi. None of this is the reason she was brought there. What I'm finding, and again, I find this with all these things, I don't know why they bother bringing these people to talk to them. None of them tell the truth.
I mean, when she's up there saying, this is just political theater, you damn right it is with your ass. I insisted that the U.S. be included in the report for the first time ever in 2011 because we must hold ourselves not just to the same standard as the rest of the world, but to an even higher one. Sex trafficking and modern slavery should have no place in America, none. But they can't have it in Haiti. That's okay.
But the Dow.
It's up. Colin, where are you? There you are. Infuriatingly, the Trump administration gutted the Trafficking in Persons Office at the State Department, cutting more than 70% of the career civil and foreign service experts who worked so hard to prevent trafficking.
I don't understand this. I cannot listen to this.
Let me say one thing in defense of libertarianism, Thomas Massey style. Let me assure you that the 70% that probably was gutted from this department more than deserved to get it. Because the one thing you learn outside of very rare exceptions when it comes to federal bureaucracy in Washington, D.C., these agencies don't do anything. The only thing they do is suck the lifeblood out of this country. That's all it does. So the idea that they're actually out there dealing with this, you said how many times, Jen, how much could we actually cut down, like the New York City Police Department, the NYPD's budget? Like how much could that be?
I support, everyone knows I'm an abolitionist. I don't believe in policing, but I would suggest that 4% of the crimes that are reported are the violent crimes that we're concerned about. So therefore, I think that their budgets should be about 4% of what they are. That's just me. But again, I'm an abolitionist. So.
Great. A committee endeavoring to stop human trafficking would seek to understand what specific steps are needed to fix a system that allowed Epstein to get away with his crimes. Why don't you talk to your husband about that one? A committee run by elected officials with a commitment to transparency would ensure the full release of all the files. It would ensure the lawful redactions, blah, 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 blah. Pull that. It would demand testimony from prosecutors in New York and Florida and why they gave Epstein a sweetheart deal and chose not to. Why don't you talk to Obama? He was the one who was president.
Honestly, we do not need to hear this testimony. We do not need to read this whole testimony, Peter. We really don't. It's silly. She's not answering the question.
Scroll down a little bit more, Colin. Okay, right there. Hold it. I would demand it would demand that Secretary Rubio and Attorney General Bondi testify about this administration in abandoning survivors and playing into the hands of traffickers. It would seek out officers on the front lines in this fight and ask them what support they need. It would put forth legislation to blah, 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 blah. Yeah,
we don't need to read this. She's not answering the question.
Last page.
Okay.
But that's not happening. Instead, you have compelled me to testify, fully aware that I have no knowledge that I would assist your investigation in order to distract attention from President Trump's actions and to cover them.
Oh my God, she cannot help herself.
Yeah, she has nightmares about it. When it is well documented that on the night of the election in 2016, when she lost Florida and it became clear that she was going to lose, she physically assaulted Robbie Mook. That she threw a lamp at
because I want to wrap and I don't want to hear this anyway. So wrap it up.
This committee is serious about learning the truth about Epstein's trafficking crimes. It would not rely on press gaggles to get answers from our current president or his involvement. It would ask him directly under oath about the tens of thousands of times he showed up in the Epstein files.
Oh my God, this spoken by a woman whose husband lied under oath. Why would asking him under oath matter to you? Why would asking anybody asking her something under oath is completely irrelevant. And for who said she's a sociopath, not a psychopath? I'm not sure with this one, to be honest with you.
No, I think she takes.
I'm not sure that Hillary's not a psychopath.
No, I think Hillary actually gets enjoyment out of hurting people.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. But the fact that she's
very vindictive.
Stupid, please wrap. I don't want to hear any more of her stupid shit.
I just have to say, you invoked my name and you said that I have lied. I never lied with knowledge of lying.
What is being held back? Who is being protected? And why the cover up? Tell us, bitch. You tell us. That's your husband was on the Lolita Express 26 times, not my husband, your husband.
My challenge to you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, is the same challenge I put to myself throughout my long service to this nation. Again, she is so upset. Again, the ego. You think Trump has an ego? This woman, I'm glad we ruined her life. I am. I'm glad we ruined it. Now, she would drone bomb me, just like she said. Can't we just drone bomb Assange? Remember that one? Because that's the mark of a psychopath. That's how psychopaths talk. How to be worthy of the trust
well,
of the
she's a
American
psychotic narcissist at best.
They expect statesmanship, not gamesmanship, leading, not grandstanding. They expect you to use your power to get the truth and to do more to help survivors of Epstein's crimes, as well as the millions more who are victims of sex trafficking.
So she just got up there and obviously didn't answer the question.
Not at all.
Pled complete ignorance, which is complete bullshit. And then went on basically self bragging tirade, I guess, about all of her quote unquote accomplishments that have nothing to do with the fact that she is aware that her husband and a whole bunch of her Epstein elite class friends are that. So she can pretend all she wants. Everybody sees it. Everybody sees it, Hillary.
Yeah.
Except for maybe people like Cheryl, like the people that are still with her.
Well, that's what I'm still with her, with the ring.
Make it go away. Make it go away. I can't.
At least we didn't have to see her mug, but you did a really good job. I will tell you, she's not reptilian the way that DWS is, but we are surrounded by lizard people.
We are surrounded by lizard people.
I mean, Peter Thiel looks like he's about to break out of his skin at any moment.
No, he's a lizard.
But let me tell you, considering how hard I personally worked to help Bernie's campaign in 2016, the night of that election, I may not have been supporting Donald Trump, but I took a certain amount of satisfaction knowing just how unconscionably devastated and destroyed that woman was.
I know. I honestly, and then I also take pleasure in the fact that she got to relive it when she went through it with Kamala.
Mm-hmm.
So here's Hillary going through Kamala's loss, aka her Kamala puppet. This made me very happy as well. You know what I mean? I mean, that pleased me too. Every time she has to suffer a loss based on her complete deserving of said loss, it's satisfying.
And let's conclude with this note. No matter how bad things get, let me assure you, if Hillary Clinton sticks her nose into the 2028 presidential race, the GOP will play it for all it's worth. And I can assure you, it will help them most likely win again.